consistent sales. Well, you're in the right place. My name is Robert Poole, and in this video today, I'm going to show you a simple process, a simple framework or formula, whatever you want to call it, that allows you to consistently make sales and have a sales process that you can do every time. It takes the stress out of selling, and anybody can do it. Even my 10-year-old can do it. And it's funny when you think about sales, some people just cringe. They think, oh geez, that's like about like public speaking, or it's somewhere near death or fear of heights or whatever. But actually, it's because of the perception that most people have of selling, and that perception is there because of other salespeople who don't know how to sell and have all tried to push us into things, and we all know what that feels like. We're not talking about that. I'm going to show you a way that makes this process easy for you, stress-free, and it's actually a good thing for whoever you're talking to. So let's get down to it. First of all, sales is it's not a talent, it's a skill that can be learned. I know that's hard to believe, but we all think, well, that person's a born salesperson, whatever. Well, no, there's no such thing. They may have some innate tendencies and natural skills that they develop, as a child per se, but actually it's a skill that can be learned. So even if you think, oh, I don't have the personality for that, you're wrong, I'm sorry. But you can learn, and it's not that difficult. Selling is not complicated, it's actually very simple. And anybody who tells you that it's complicated, they're probably selling you something. So let's talk about it. As an example, let me show you an example of, in daily life. We've all seen, a really good movie that, we like, and we told our friends about it. And, like for instance, as of this video, I think it's probably 6 months ago that Top Gun 2 movie came out with Tom Cruise, the sequel to the original Top Gun back in the 80s. So literally, was that 35 years or something afterwards? And, I saw the original one. I was probably in high school or something. And I enjoyed it, but it's a big cultural thing, the music and everything. Everybody, my age certainly recognizes. And I wasn't, I liked the original movie, but not a huge Tom Cruise fan, and all that. But my daughter wanted to go see it, and so we went and saw it, and it was a great movie and everything. So I went home and I told my wife, I said, "Wow, honey, this is a really awesome movie. I'm really surprised. I was not expecting this." But, this is an amazing movie. You should really see it. I said, I wasn't real fired up about seeing it. I am, not real big on flying or arrogant pilots. It doesn't really, it's not my thing. But my daughter wanted to see it. So, hey, we went and saw it. And I'm telling you, from the title sequence, and, the music comes up, I just got chills because it made me think about the old movie back in the 80s, when I was younger. Brought back all those memories. And right from the beginning it was all action and a great storyline and, decent acting and just really well done. And boy, it's just really amazing movie, and it brought back a lot of memories, certainly for people our age. And, you should totally see it. In fact, maybe on Friday, I think it's still in IMAX until Friday. So, you want to go do it on Friday? We'll go see it and together, because I'd love to see it again. And what did I just do? Was that stressful? Was that, do I feel like I'm pushing my wife, to go see this movie? No, I'm sharing some excitement, sharing something that I think is going to benefit her. And we've all done it. I'm sure that we've all enthusiastically recommended a movie to a friend or some other experience that we had. And what I just showed you was the very simple 3-step process or formula on how to sell anything. And it doesn't matter what the sales cycle is. It doesn't matter the size of the sale. It could be, selling a $27 widget. It could be selling a multi-million-dollar contract. It could take, one step. You sell it immediately right there on the spot. It could be something that takes 2 years to sell, but it's all the same process. And so we're going to walk you through that here. So let's start in the basic model. I call this the HSC model. And I'll show you what this stands for. Whoops, lost my microphone. So let's go back to that example. Well, first let me take a step back. What I like to say is, when it comes to selling, what we're talking about is the sales process, because people often don't understand the difference between sales and marketing, where marketing is really about changing people's beliefs and selling is about giving them a reason to act right now. So just we're all on the same page as the definitions I'm using. So go back to the story about the movie that I was just telling you about. How did I open it up? With some enthusiasm, and I say, hey, honey, you've got to go see this movie. So what did I do there? I got her attention. Suddenly she's listening to me going, oh, really? This movie was that good? I should go see it? My husband's very excited about it. Maybe I should listen to him. And what I did there, and what we most do and don't even realize it, is I threw out a hook, which is the first step in the HSC process. And the hook is simply a way of getting somebody's attention. Too many people try to get into a sales process, over the phone, even online, if you have a web page that you're selling something in person, whatever, and they haven't fully gotten the attention of the person that they're talking to. Because we get bombarded by stuff all day long, why should we pay attention to this person? So the first step is get their attention. And then what's the second thing that I did? I kind of told her a story. And a story allows us to change the beliefs of our prospects. As we shift beliefs, we're doing that marketing to them, because if we don't shift those beliefs, to make them more friendly to our solution or what we want them to do, they're not going to do it. And so what did I do? I started telling her a story about, geez, I didn't really want to see this movie. I'm not really caring about flying and not a huge Tom Cruise fan or anything, blah, blah, blah. But I went through this process. I saw the movie, it was really good. It had all these things going, great acting, good storyline, all that good stuff, so I kind of showed the transition of my belief system, my thought process as I went through that. And again, we've all done that. We do it every day. When you're talking to your friends or you're talking to your spouse or your family members, we all do it. And then finally, what did I do? After I kind of told my wife a story about how my beliefs had changed, and showed her by proxy what it could be like for her, then that's when it comes into the close, which is what did I do? I just said, hey, now that you understand and have seen this transition in me, my beliefs, through a story, hey, let's go see this thing on Friday because it's going out of, it's leaving IMAX. And, so I'm giving her a reason to do something right now. And so if we put these all together, the hook, the story, and the close, it's so simple. And it can be used, again, in any format. It can be done on the phone, getting somebody's attention, telling them a brief story about, whatever it is that you're selling, experience of a past customer, etc., and then asking them to do something. Very simple. And, the problem is that most salespeople go straight to here, straight to the close, because they don't know that they need to do these first two steps. And of course, these are the marketing steps, and this is actually the sales part. And they try to, and that's where you get that uncomfortable feeling, when somebody's trying to close you, you feel intimidated and you feel like, Jesus, this person's pushing me, and all that kind of stuff. And, the reason is because they forgot these first two steps. But if we do these three steps, regardless of, again, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in person, or whether it's online in a static sales page, it's all the same thing. And it works no matter what, every time, no matter what the size of the sale, the length of time it takes to sell, all that good stuff. And so it's sort of a universal process. I mean, are there nuances to all these things? Are there little things you can do to make them better? Yes, of course. And, in future videos, I'll talk about some of those things, the details about how you improve, these things. But basically, if you just take what you learned today and you go out and you kind of try to remember this, because let's face it, how hard is that for you to remember, when you're talking to somebody, a prospect that you want to try to sell something to? Get their attention, tell them a story that is going to help shift their beliefs, and then you're ripe for being closed. In fact, a lot of times you don't even have to ask them for the order, because they'll tell you, okay, what do I do next? So the HSC model is one of those wonderful things that we can all do. Anybody who thinks they can't sell is selling themselves short, so to speak. So you can do it. I'm going to do some further videos on the details of some of these, but for right now, just think about that. Go ahead and use it. And if you enjoyed this content today, please subscribe to the channel. Do all that YouTube stuff, share and like and all that.